So, hi guys, good morning to all of you. I can see like all of you have joined. Hi Gautam, hi Pavel, hi Santana. Yeah, very good morning. So, yeah, I'm glad that you have joined today, and yes, really glad of that. And I'm feeling really good that I have these students who are really excited to learn this AWS. So guys, like before we actually go and start this session, can we have a quick recap that what we have learned yesterday? Could you guys tell me in the chat box that what we have learned in yesterday class and what do you remember about the yesterday class? Okay, Pavel, then we will talk about your issue also. Okay, so I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Can you guys go and write something that what you have remembered, from the last class? Sure. You can write the name of the topic. You can write the name of any component, any resource which you have remembered. Okay, anything. It can be very big. It can be very small. Even you can write just like EC2. That is also fine. Yeah, that's great, Gautam. So you have written cloud computing. Awesome. EC2 administration. Very good. And you got the cloud computing concept and their uses. Pavel, you got this thing. Great. Okay. Anything else which we have covered in yesterday class? Yes. Great. So we have learned about this different type of instance creation, use EC2 and create instances. Awesome. You guys are like doing great. And cost estimation. Yeah. And I've also done one sample in my AWS account. That's awesome, Santana, that you have done in your account also. Great. And their cost identification. Awesome. Yeah, so this is what we have learned in the yesterday class. One more thing I would like to add over here, that is we also learned about the security group. Remember that in the security group we have how many rules? Can you go and write over there that how many rules we have? Yes, security groups as well. And can you write that how many type of rules are there? Like, okay, the clue is in yes. So Gautam have written the answer: inbound and outbound rule. Awesome. So, okay. So one few final questions that how many security groups can be attached to one instance? Did you any one of you have remembered how many security groups can be attached to one instance? Great, Pavel. So you have written five, and Santani you have written five. That's right. Exactly. Yes, we can write. We can attach five security groups with the instance with the any of the instance. Okay. So one more question that how many rules can we have in a security group? In a single security group, how many rules we can have? Remember, I told you two is very less rules like HTTP, you know, the like TCP rules, the ICMP rules, the all traffic rules. Okay, let me show you the thing from the console. That then you might be able to recall that particular word what I'm trying to ask. Two is absolutely fine, like that is inbound and outbound rule. But I'm talking about like, let me show you that thing from the console. EC2. So in the EC2 section from the navigation panel, we have in the left hand side, we will be having the security group, right? So where it is here, security groups. So let's click on this and okay. Yeah, so I was talking about this, Okay, let me rephrase my question that how many rules can be added in this inbound rules? Okay, how many rules can be added in this inbound rule or the outbound rule? Yes, as of now we have three rules over here, but the maximum number of rules which we can add in any security group is 50, right? That means 250 rules can be attached to the instance. Okay, yes, 50, that's right. 50 rules can be added to this security group inbound rule and the outbound rule. And that means if you go and attach five security groups with an instance, in that case, every security group have like 50 rules. That means the maximum number of the rules which can be, active on your instance can be like 250. Okay. No, there is no reason why it is 50. AWS given this range to us. So like this, if you wanted to like extend this, so in that case, I think you have to discuss with the AWS. Probably as of now, we have only like 50 rules in a security group, in a single security group. Yeah. Okay. So one more question. I have shown you the port range also, right? From zero to 655, and I will not add the last two digits. So can you guys tell me what is the port range which we have from 0 to 65,500? Okay, can you complete this digit? Okay, what is the port range which we have available? Can you go and write it over here? Come on, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Uh, on my count of three, I will be expecting my answer. The answer of this question that what is the port range we can give in the security group? That's great. That's great. So Pavel has given the answer very beautifully. That is 65,535. So this is the port range which you can assign to any of the security group, right? If you will try to go beyond go beyond then this value. So probably you should be getting empty error. Let me go and try. I never tried with the extended value. Let me go and try. So you can see, we are getting this error because the maximum value which you can give is 65,535. Okay, from 0 to 65,535. If you will go and mention 65,535 and open it for like everyone, that means the all port number has been opened. That means like all traffic. Okay, so you can say like all traffic is showing with this range, right? So these are the things you will be expecting to do as a you should be having knowledge about these things as a AWS solution architect. Okay, so if you have knowledge about these depth things, so probably you will be enjoying the architect position in your company. Okay, so this is what and in the coming classes also we will be talking about some other things too. Okay, and we will be talking about some other things too. Let's go and talk about one of the most important topic which we have is EBS. Okay. Okay. So before we go ahead, I will answer the question asked by Pavel. That is, IP and port calculation is mandatory as AWS architect. Up to some extent, you can say yes. you should be having idea that what is the port range, what kind of network you should create as an architect. If you don't have the idea, by the end of this course you will be getting the idea for this thing. Only you should be come with the preparation that today you are going to learn something from this course, and probably by the end of this course you will be having great idea that how to go and design a network, a good network, and what need to take care when you design something for any company. Okay. Yes. So thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed your answers, right? And I can see like you guys are proactively giving all the answers to the all questions. That's really great. And this is what I want from every one of you. Interact as much as possible, right? And okay, now I will start a session on this elastic block storage. Okay, elastic block storage. So probably you might have observed yesterday that whenever we try to launch any of the instance, so in that case it asks us to choose the AMI, okay, the AMI, Amazon Machine Image, and by using that Amazon Machine Image, we used to install the operating system on our volume. So what is that volume? That volume is elastic block storage. Okay, elastic block storage. So let's talk about something about this elastic block storage. So elastic block storage, Amazon Elastic Block Storage provides persistent block storage volume for use with Amazon EC2 instance. Okay, so whenever you go and use this Elastic Block Storage, it will allow to install the operating system on top of it, and it will also allow to save the persistent data. That means even if you go and stop your instance, and after some time you go and start this instance once again, whatever the data you have saved on your volume, that data will be available to you. Okay, so that is what we have. So elastic block storage is a persistent block storage. Okay, storage volume, and it get attached with this Amazon EC2 instances. Each Amazon EBS volume is automatically replicated with its ability zone. So whenever you have this EBS volume in one ability zone, okay, so we will be saying today that whenever we go and create any volume in one ability zone, so it is also going to replicate to the another ability zone to offer high availability, to offer durability, to offer low latency kind of stuff, and to offer the protection from the component failure, means reliable and durable. And okay, so you want me to repeat? Let me repeat once again. So what is elastic block storage? Elastic block storage provides persistent that means permanent block storage volume. Okay. So whatever the data you are saving on your EBS, that that data is going to be available on your volume. Okay, that means once you go and stop the instance, and after a while, after 1 day, after 1 minute, after 2 day, or 1 month, or 3 months, or one year, even if you go and start your instance, the data that data will be available over there. Okay, so that data will be available over there. So it is not like RAM, it is like your hard disk, which is available in your laptop, in your devices, in your system. Okay, so it offers you high availability by replicating the volume available in one availability zone to the another availability zone. Okay, so it is going to replicate the volume from the one availability zone to the another availability zone. So whenever you go and create any volume, so in that case, it goes and create that volume in one availability zone. However, it will be replicating that volume in the another availability zone also to provide you the high availability, durability, low latency. High availability, that means it is going to be available all the time. Okay, whenever you try to access your volume, it is going to be available all the time. Durability, that means the lifespan of this volume will be increased. That means even after 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 10 year, you would try to access the same amount of data that will be available over there, and all the things will be available to you very frequently. Okay, that means low latency. You can scale up at any point of time within a minute, right? Backup and restore, you can go and create the snapshots, that is, go and create the backup. And once you go and create the backup, so you can also go and copy that backup, that is a snapshot, from one region to the another region. Let's say that you are in Mumbai region, you are using Mumbai region. Now you wanted to copy the data in island region, maybe Singapore, maybe like US, Virginia. So you can simply copy that thing by using this copy snapshot option. So snapshot is nothing; it's a backup of the volume. Okay. Okay. So Pavel, I think you got the answer for your question, right? That is like, can we do create high? Okay, in order to get the high availability, can we do like a replication across the region? Did you got the answer for this question from my previous statements? Great. Okay. Okay. So what are the use cases of this CBS, right? The first use case is like big data analytics engine like Hadoop. If you guys started to work in a company where we are doing like data analytics, okay, so probably you will be using this Hadoop ecosystem or SCFC. And in order to save the data, you will be using this elastic block storage, right? So EMR cluster, that means elastic map reduce cluster, that is, and for keeping the data of the databases like relational databases and SQL databases. So these databases data will be kept on this EBS, elastic block storage. Now stream log processing app like Kafka and Splunk and data will be get saved on this elastic block storage. Right? And data warehousing app like Teradata, which is very very popular. It is just like one of the services available in AWS, that is Redis. Okay, so all the data will be get saved in this elastic block storage. So you have to go and configure that, go and save in this elastic block storage. So these are the data use cases. Okay. Now multiple AVSA volume can be attached to the same instance. So this is really really important to know that if you ever get the requirement that you need to attach, you know, like two volumes, three volumes, or more than that volumes attached to an instance, to single instance. In that case, you can go and attach all those volumes with your instance at a time. Okay. So to choose an ability zone to create ABS volume so that it can be attached to the instance in the same. Okay. One thing which is very important you guys to remember that whenever you go and attach your volume with the instance, so you need to make sure that both of the things are in the same ability zone. If your instance is available in US East 1A, US East 1A, that is the first ability zone, so the volume should be available in US East 1A. Okay, then you will be able to attach these things to each other. Fine. So you will be able to attach these things to each other. So whenever you have the requirement that go and attach a volume with with your instance, okay. So in that case, make sure that both of the things are available in the same entity zone. Fine. Now types of EBS. So we have few types of EBS available. General purpose SSD, so that is GP2. Provisioned IO SSD, that is IO1, and through throughput optimized throughput optimized HDD ST1, and core HDD, that is SC1 and multi volume. Right. So these type of EBS volumes are available, and let's go and discuss all these one by one. Before that, I would like to show you from the console that where you will be getting the option to create this EBS volume. Okay. So let's go to this AWS console and click on this volume. Fine. So from the navigation panel, we are in this AC2 service. AC2 service. Under this AC2 service, from the navigation panel, you will be getting this option. Elastic block store. Under this, we have this volumes option. Whenever you go and click on this create volume, so you will see like we have this volume type general purpose. right? So it is showing you all the five types of volume, general purpose SSD, and the uh, name is like GP2. Code name is GP2. Provisioned IOPS SSD, so that is IO1, okay, called HDD, SC1, or throughput optimized HDD, ST1, and magnetic standard. Okay. Now you can see like we have the option to provide the size of this volume. So the size can be given, that is like from 1 GB to 16 TB. So that is a like bigger amount of space we can actually go and provide 16 TB. That will be 16,384 GB. Okay, 16,384 GB of space can be allocated to one EBS volume, and that can be attached to the instance. So from, and this is for general purpose, right? If I will go and choose this provisioned IO, so in that case you will see like we have only 4 GB of space. The minimum space which you can go and provide is 4 GB. Okay, and if I try to go beyond this number, let's increment this number 16,384 number by 1. So make it 5. So it says like cannot exceed this value, right? So the minimum value which you can, the maximum value which you can provide is 16,384 GB of space to one EBS volume. Right? And if you try to give like 1, so again it will give you the error because the minimum value which you can give is 4 GB of space, right? Then you can see like we have one option, that is ability zone. So whenever you go and create any volume, so you go and create that volume in a ability zone, right? If the instance is available in another ability zone, so in that case you will not be able to attach this volume with that instance. Okay, so you need to make sure that the instance and the EBS volume both are in the same ability zone. Okay, so then we have this throughput, and it says that the throughput that the volume can support is specified for streaming optimized volume. Okay, then we have this snapshot. If you wanted to create this volume from a specific snapshot, from a specific backup, so you should go and do a snapshot. So these many snapshots are available by default, right? So now if you wanted to encrypt your volume, so you can go and use this encryption to encrypt this volume, right? So we have these options. Okay, so let's come back to this slide. So and now discuss all these things one by one. Then we will go and try to create the volumes also, right? So general purpose is for the general purpose SSD, solid state drive, multiple strong performance and cost effective storage. If you are concerned about the prices, so in that case probably we should go for this general purpose SSD. Okay, and whenever you go and choose this SSD, so in that case we have 3 IOPS per GB. What is this IOPS? The IOPS is a unit to measure the performance of the storage devices, right? So when we have like 3 IOPS per GB, that means like 3 input output per second per GB. Okay, that means so it will be having like great performance. Okay, and it can increase up to some value that is like 16,000. Okay, so it can increase up to like 16,000, and the throughput which we have is 250 MB per second. It can be used for the boot volume. That means if you go and choose this if you go and choose this general purpose SSD, so you can go and install your operating system by using the Amazon machine image. Okay, if you have a small or medium databases, so you can also go and recommend your client that you want to, if they can install their databases on this uh, volume, right, to store their data, because there whenever you go and configure the databases on any of the operating system, it is going to write the data on a volume, so that volume will be this general purpose SSD. Now whenever you have write the data on that volume, so probably your application will be reading and writing the data on that database. That means it required to have high throughput, right? It required to have high input and output per second, so that like every time your database, your application will be writing to your database. Okay, that means it is consuming some of the write operations, and it is your application is going to read the data from your database. So it is will be doing some read operation. Okay, so it is good to have this more and more number of IOs in order to have better performance. Now we have this development and test environment. So it is suitable for the development environment, test environment. Whenever you wanted to go and deploy for the production environment, so probably going for the provision IOs where we have like which we recommend for the enterprise solution is good. Okay. So as I said, like this maximum number of IOs can be up to 16,000, right? And if the number got increased, so I have to check, but most of the time, like earlier it was 16,000. Okay, AWS keep on extending the limit of the resources which they have. So if you have 100 GB of space, if you have 100 GB of space in your general purpose volume, so in that case you will be having 300 IOs. That is like 100 multiplied by 3 because we have 3 IOs per GB. So now if we choose 100 GB of space, so we have to go and multiply this thing with 100. So that is like 3 into 100 is equal to 300 IOs. Okay. Now, the question for you, if I go and choose like 200 GB of space, so can you guys tell me in the chat box that what will be the maximum, what will be the IOs we have? Okay, so Pavel has given the answer. I am also waiting for others to answer this question. Okay, Santanu has also given the answer. And Gautam, it's your turn. Okay, all of you are like correct. So you have given like 600 answers. That's really great. Yes. I will be asking you questions, other questions also. Yeah. So as of now, Pavel 600 and Santano 600 IOPS and Gautam 600 IOPS. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay. So let's move to the next slide. And before moving to the next slide, let's go and create this general purpose SSD. Okay. We are we wanted to learn a lot, so that's why we will be choosing a small size. Okay, and small size of this general purpose SSD. Apart from that, you know, I would like to highlight that if you go and create a volume of create a volume having a size of like more than 30 GB, so you will be get charged by the AWS in your free tier account. So in every free tier account, we have this 30 GB of space available for free. Once you go and use, you know, more than that amount, let's say that you have used 40 GB of space, so you will be getting charged for 10 GB of space, right? In case of free tier account, right? And you can also do a cost estimation for this. So let's come back to this slide and let me open this cost AWS cost calculator. Okay, so let's open this application which is running on S3 bucket, and let's go and click on this elastic EC2. Okay, so we have this elastic EC2. So here we have like EC2 instance, here we have EC2 dedicated host, here we have EBS volume. So I will go and click on this add volume, and I will say the size of this storage is let's say like 100. Okay, and IO is 300, and the baseline throughput is 128 MB per second. Okay, and no snapshot. So now you can see the cost is showing me is $7 over here, right? So it is showing me like $7. Fine. And as of now, the free tier usage is checked out. So if I will like remove this check, so in that case you have to go and pay like $10. But in case of free tier account, you will not be getting charged for 30 GB. So that's why it is showing like $7. But in case of normal account, where the free tier usage has already consumed, okay, so in that case, for 100 GB of space, you will be getting charged $10 every month. Okay, so let's come back to the EBS and let's go and create it once again. So let's go and click on this cancel and click on this create volume. Okay, so create volume. Yes. Sign out. So click on this create volume, and now here you can actually go and choose your volume type, that is general purpose SSD, and the size, let it be 1 GB. Okay, and now you can go and choose your ability zone, and then you can go and give a tag also. Giving a tag is, one of the important thing in real production environment. So purpose, and let's say demo, right? Now you can go and click on this create volume. So this volume will be available to you just in few moments, right? So let me refresh this page, and you can see that this volume is available to you. All of the information related to this volume will be available in the description. So you can see like the volume ID is available, which has been assigned to you by AWS. So the size is 1 GB, created on 2nd June 2019, right? And the volume type is GP2. Okay, and the ability zone is US East 1A, right? So as you can see, like previous volume which is available in US East 1D, and this volume is available in US East 1A. Okay, so if I go and try to attach this volume with one of the instance which is available in another ability zone, so I will not be able to do so, right? I will not be able to do so. The reason is both are in different ability zone. So let's go and click on this attach volume, and there will be no instance ID listed because there is no instance available in US East 1A. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. However, we will go and create a new volume just in few moments in this ability zone, and I will try to show you that how we can go and attach it. Okay, yeah. So somebody have questions. Uh, yeah. So Pavel, you have question that means if I go for one EBS, I have attached. Okay, I didn't get your question. Could you repeat your question once again? Let me answer the question asked by Santanu. So that is, so although we have created free 12 months AWS account, but we use this volume, AWS will charge per as per the cost calculator. Yes, it is going to charge you as per the cost calculator. Absolutely yes, right? So whenever you go and use this cost calculator, so always go and check this option, right? So check this option, and in that case, you can see like the cost has been reduced from the $10 to the $7 because I have given the space of 100 GB, right? 100 GB. So you can see like I have given the space of 100 GB, right? So for 100 GB, I will be getting charged like $7 because in the free tier account, tier account, we will not get charged for uh, you know 30 GB. Okay, did you got the answer for your question, Santana? Yeah, great, fine. So okay, so Pavel, uh, you can write your question also. We will wait for next 30 seconds. And okay, so Gautam, do you have any questions till now? So I received a question from Pavel that is, if I go for EBS, that definitely be required highly available, okay, high available. Now let's create a volume in accelerator zone, and how we will make sure that the hybrid is on against this volume. Okay. That's a good question which you have. So let me tell you that AWS itself provided the high availability for this volume. What they say is that if you create this volume in one availability zone, so in the backend, they will be replicating your volume in the another availability zone. Okay, you will not be having access to that volume, but they are replicating all the volume in another availability zone. If anything goes bad with this one availability zone, so in that case, your volume will be accessible from the another availability zone. However, to make it highly available and to have your own control on the data, on the volumes, what you can do, like you can go and create this snapshot of your volume and keep the copy of this snapshot in another ability zone or maybe in another region, right? So in case of any disaster, you can recover your data immediately. Did you got the answer for your question, Pavel? Okay, great. So now let me, yeah, thank you so much. Now let me answer the question asked by Gautam. So is it charged only for creating instance as well, or it will be charged once we consume 100 GB of data? That's a good question, Gautam. So the thing is like whenever you go and attach, whenever you go and create any instance, so in that case you have the leverage to create, you to create two kind of instances. One is like most of the time you will be creating the instance that is t2.micro, okay, t2.micro, and so you will t2.micro cover under this prettier account. Okay, so if you will go and create the instance which having instance type t2.micro, so you will not be getting charged. Okay, if you will go and use some other type of instance, let's say like c4.large or maybe m5.x large, so in that case you will be getting charged as per the instances. If you go and use this t2.micro up to 750 hours, you haven't consumed 750 hours and you have used like 100 GB of volume, so you will be getting charged for 70 GB in case of retail account. Okay, did you got the answer for your question? Gautam. Okay, that's great. So now let me go back to this volume section and let me go and try to create. Yes, Gautam, it is based on like uses for the free tier. That's right. Okay. So free tier account having some leverage, and you can always go and calculate before creating any of the resource and before getting it run for the longer time. You can go and use this simple monthly calculator in order to avoid the access bill, right? And it is always recommended for you that the guys who are learning go and create all the resources which you are trying to create. Okay, got it? Fine. So yeah, thank you. So as of now, let's talk about this. So as of now, what we are trying to do now, we are going to create the provision. So we are going to create provision IO SSD volume. Okay, so I click on this create volume. Now I can choose this volume type provision IO. Okay, so here we will be having more number of IO. So you can see like as of now it is showing me that the size of the volume can be from minimum 4 GB to the maximum 16,384 GB, right? And the IO, then let's go and so the IOPS can be the minimum number of IOPS can be 100 GB. Whether you go and give like 4 GB of space, in that case also the minimum number of IOPS will be 100 GB. Sorry, 100 IOPS. Okay. If you go and give like let's say 200 GB of space, in that case the IOPS number can be changed by it. And what is the ratio? The ratio for this IOPS is 50 into 1. That means if you have chosen 4 GB, so you can give up to like 4 multiplied by 50. So that is like 4 multiplied by 50. 200 IOPS you can go and provide away, right? 200 IOPS. Okay. And the maximum number of IOs which you can go and provide is 64,000, right? If I will go and provide more than this 200 GB, 200 IO, so I will be getting some error. So let's go and provide like 201. So in that case you can see like maximum ratio is 50 into 1 is permitted between IOs and the volume size. So if the volume size is 4, so in that case the IOs will be 201. If the volume is like 6, in that case the IOPS which we can go and provide is 6 multiplied by 50, that is 300, right? So, so this is the maximum number of IOPS. If I will go and try to exceed this limit, so it will give me the ratio should be 50 into 1. So now you guys have to answer me that if I go and choose this size of, you know, 10 GB. So what will be the maximum number of IOPS which we can go and provide? Okay, so Pavel has given the answer. And what about others? Simple math calculation, right? 50 ratio, 50 is to 1 ratio. Gautam has given the answer. Okay, so Pavel, you can also ask a question meanwhile. Fine. So what about Santanu? So yes, this is like 10 into 50, that is 500, right? So 500 IOPS. It is not 500 GB, it is 500 IOPS because this is the unit measurement performance measurement of this storage, right? So this is going to be 500 IOPS. Okay. Now let's go and choose the utility zone, that is US East 1D, where the instance is available. So I'm choosing this availability zone US East 1D. Okay. And now let's go and create this volume. So let me give a tag once again. Let's say the environment is testing. Okay. And I will not choose any snapshot. I will not choose any backup to be make it available over here. I will just simply go and create the volume. So let's go and click on this create volume, right? So this volume should be available to us, okay? And depending upon the size of the volume, like the things, it takes time to make it available. Now you can see, that this volume is available as of now, okay? This volume is available as of now, and the size of this volume is 10 GB, right? If I will go back to this monthly calculator and click on this services section, and here, if I will go and choose this provision IOPS, so probably the size, the price should be changed. As of now, like 10 GB, and I will like uncheck this option. Okay, so you can see like for 10 GB of the storage, we will be getting charged, that is $1.25 for the AWS. Okay, okay. So Pavel having a question, that is a good question, that IOPS, as per my understanding, it is input and output channel for DB read and write. But you are unable to understand why it is asking minimum 4 GB. That is the standard given by the AWS. You cannot do anything in that. If AWS says that, it is required, it is going to use with the system which really required, a lot of performance. Okay, that means a really like big enterprise solutions. So they might have observed that, like 1 GB of a space not been used by many of the companies. Okay, so that's why they have given this limit that minimum 4 GB of a space they require to have, and it totally depends upon the kind of the algorithm, kind of the storage devices which they are using. Okay, and so that's why they have given this minimum limit for the provision IO, that is 4 GB. We don't need to like worry about the things which AWS has already fixed. Okay, nobody is going to ask the questions why this provision IO SSD is like minimum 4 GB of space. Okay, this is 4 GB of space. We cannot do anything. We cannot change these limits. Minimum is 4, so that's why we cannot go and give 3. If the maximum is like 16 GB, so we cannot go and change this amount. It is going to be like this. Another thing is we should know that we can go and how we can go and attach these things with the volume, and how we can go and like write data on top of this. In what cases you should use this provision IOPS SSD. So you should know all these cases, right? So all these cases you should know. Did you got the answer for your question, Pavel? Okay, thanks. So fine. Now let me go and click on this cancel. So the last volume which we have created is in US East 1D, right? So where the another volume is available. Okay. So the another volume is available in US East 1D, and this volume which we just created, the size of this volume is 10 GB. So this is also available and US East 1D, right? So now I can go and click on this action and click on this attached volume, and then you will be getting list of the instances over here available in US East 1D, right? So there is one instance which is available. Okay, you can go and attach this volume with this instance. Okay, so it says that Linux devices are from /dev/sdf and to this SDP. Okay, so I can go and use this SDF as now and go and click on this attach. So now I can see that this volume has successfully attached, which we created in US East 1D. Why? Because the instance was available in that already zone. Okay. So we have learned that the minimum size which you can provide is for earlier it was like 1 GB, but nowadays it is like 4 GB. Okay. Now the maximum size which we can provide is 16 GB. The minimum number of IOPS will be 100, and the maximum number of IOPS will be 64,000. IOPS is input output per second, is a unit to measure the performance of the disk. Right. Now it is suitable for the critical business applications that require sustained IOPS performance. Okay. So critical business applications where, and it is like it is suitable for the large relational or NoSQL databases workload. Okay, so it is suitable for those things where we have large relational or NoSQL databases. We will be performing a lot of input and output uh, operations, and the IF ratio is 50 is to 1. Right. So you guys already know about this thing. Let's go and talk about some other things also. Yes, it is 16 TB. 16 TB. 16,384 divided by 1.24 will be 16 TB, right? Okay. Now we have this throughput optimized HDD, that is low cost magnetic storage. Low cost magnetic storage. So that is like throughput of 500 MB per second and defined performance in term of IOPS, and the size will be 500 GB to the 16 TB. Okay, so this throughput optimized HDD mainly used for this database, okay, like big data warehouses, log processing, and one of the most important is that it cannot be used it cannot be used to install the operating system. Okay, keep me a moment, guys. Let me connect my charger. Okay. So we were discussing about the use cases of throughput optimized HDD, that is like big data warehouse like data, okay, and log processing, and cannot be used to install the operating system on this one. And now we have this called HDD, okay, low cost magnetic storage. The throughput is 250 MB, and defined performance in term of throughput cannot be a boot volume, right? So and the size is again from 500 GB to 16 TB. Now this is magnetic standard, and this is one of the lowest cost magnetic storage which we have available in AWS, and throughput and IOPS are not applicable over here. It can be used for the boot volumes, but the size is really small. The size of this magnetic storage is from 1 GB to the 1 TB, right? That is like 1024 GB. Okay. So that is all about this ABS volumes. We have covered different type of ABS volumes. Now let's talk about this snapshot. Okay. So if I will go back to this slide, And now I will go and click on this create volume. So you can see like we have this magnetic standard over here. And on this magnetic standard, you can actually go and install your operating system too. But that will be really, really slow because the IOs are not applicable over here. This is just a magnetic storage. Okay. The things will be, I guess, like they are using a magnetic tapes to write your data. So the size is 1 GB to the 1 TB. And these kind of broad categories are available to us, right? So we can use any one of them as per our requirement. No, it is not a kind of the normal HDD. Magnetic standard is something, which will be magnetic tape. So data will be getting stored in this magnetic tape. Okay, that's why it is really, really cheap. And the size you can see like the size is from 1 GB to the 1 TB. Okay. So it can be mainly used for the backups, right? Where you wanted to save some amount, it can be used for this magnetic standard can be used for the backup purposes. Okay, where you wanted to save some amount of data over there, which is not that critical. Okay, let's come back to this slide. This magnetic console, management console, sorry. And now if you wanted to delete this volume, which is I think really, really important to perform this activity. So let's go and click on this action. You can also go and right click on this volume name and go and delete this volume, right? Go and delete this volume. Now, if you wanted to delete this one, which is the additional volume I have attached, right? So I can go and deattach this volume which is created on 2nd of June. So I will go and deattach this volume. We have your option like post deattach, and so within a second like it will be available, and then we can delete it. So now it is available. Now we can go and delete this volume. So delete volume. So you can see like the tag was available, that was environment and the values testing. Right. Let me go and refresh this thing. So this volume will be get removed from here. Now you will not be getting charged for the volumes which you have deleted. You will be getting charged only for the volumes which is available here, right? In this region. Okay. So let's talk about some other things which is snapshot. Okay. So what do we mean by snapshot? As I said, the snapshot is a backup, right? So volumes exist on ABS, that is virtual hard disk, and the snapshots exist on S3. Okay. Whenever you go and create this snapshot, so it is going to be available on your S3. It is going to available on S3, right? So snapshot. So a snapshot, that means your backup is going to be available on S3. So S3 is a service that we will discuss later on. It is a simple storage service, right? So we will discuss this thing later on. Now talk about this snap. Let's talk about this snapshot. Snapshot are point in time copies of volume. So at particular time, if you have taken any backups, in that case, it is like point in time, copy of volumes. So snapshots are incremental. Okay. So what do we mean by incremental? This means that only the blocks that you have changed since your last snapshot are moved to the S3. So let's say that today you have taken the the snapshot of a volume which having 100 GB of space available, right? And now today you have consumed 50 GB out of the 100 GB of volume. Okay, so by today you have consumed 50 GB of the volume, 50 GB of the volume space out of 100 GB of the volume space. So tomorrow, definitely you will be writing some more data on that volume. So let's say that 10 more GB got 10 more GB of data got added in that volume. Okay. So once you go and create this snapshot tomorrow of the same volume, so it will not go and take a backup from the beginning to the end. What it will do, like it will take the backup of that 10 GB which is remaining, okay, which is remaining. Uh, so that's why we call this thing incremental snapshot. So for the first time, whenever you go and create this snapshot for any volume, so it will take some time, which having the large amount of space and large amount of data into it, and by taking one backup, if you will go and try this, try to take the backup after 1 hour, maybe after 2 hour, maybe like after one day. So in that case, it will take less time than the previous one, because you will be taking the backup of the data which is added in that time duration. And yes, so so like this is how this snapshot works, and we can go and schedule this snapshot like whenever we wanted to, you know, have this backup, like whether like every day evening at 6 o'clock we wanted to have the backup of the VPS. So in that case, we can schedule a task for this operation. Got it? Okay. So this is what I explained. Now, depending upon the size, like it is going to take some time. So how do I create a snapshot of an Amazon EBS RAID array? Okay. So sometimes like some of the organizations are there who used to configure this RAID array, redundant array of independent disk, redundant array of independent disk. Okay. So on the operating system itself. So how we can go and create this snapshot of the EBS volume RAID array? So in that case, we have this solution. First of all, we have to go and stop all applications that is writing to the array. And this solution is also available on you know this knowledge center of this Amazon. So we have to read questions over there asked by the different customers, and then AWS used to provide all those questions. First of all, you have to stop all the applications writing from the data to the from data to the RAID array, and then plus all caches to the disk. Confirm that the associated instance is no longer writing to the RAID array by taking actions such as freezing the file system or unmounting the RAID array. Okay. Or even you can go and shut down your instance for the safer side. Now, after taking some steps to halt all disk array related activity to the RAID array, take a snapshot of the EBS volume in that array. So this is like the solution if you want to have configured the RAID array on your operating system. Okay. So redundant array of independent is they are like different kind of redundant array available, like 0, like 1, like 5, 1, 0, 6. So these kind of redundant arrays uh, are available. Fine. So you can get this thing from from the internet when if you are really interested to learn more about this array. Now we have performed some of the activities like create a volume and keep it, keep it after the instance is terminated. Take a snapshot and restore. So let's go and take a snapshot of the volume which is already available, which has some data, right? So just to answer the previous question, that if you wanted to like copy this snapshot from one region to the another region, or the from one ability zone to the another ability zone, so in that case you have to go and create this snapshot. So every time you wanted to move these volumes, then you have to go and create this snapshot. From that snapshot, you will be creating the volume. Okay. So let's go and do this thing. So we are going to take this snapshot of this volume. So let's go and click on this action, and then we have okay. So fine. So let's go this snapshot and create a snapshot. Right. Click on this create a snapshot. Now you have to choose a volume. So you can see like this volume is available over here. Now you can give a description for this snapshot. Okay. So the description which you can give is like, let's say uh, this thing. Okay. So this volume is not encrypted as of now. So it is saying like not encrypted. Now you can give a tag, and the tag can be, let's say, name and that. Okay, demo testing, something like this. Giving tag is really good, and you will be here finding this. Giving a tag is really helpful activity to find out the resources. So go and click on this creative snapshot. So the resource type is volume. On the top of this creative snapshot, the resource type is volume. Right? We are choosing the volume. We have chosen this. We have given a description, and then this create snapshot. Okay. Depending upon the size of this volume, it is going to take some time. If we can see that it is showing me the progress on the right hand side. If I will go and refresh this thing, so it will show me like 1%, 2%. 3% like that. Okay, so it is in pending state. Once it will be available, so it will show me like successful and yeah, or available snapshot. Okay, so if you have the like 1 TB of data on your volume, so I will suggest you to go and create the snapshot of that volume in the off production hour. Okay, generally we have the production hour from 9 o'clock to the 6 o'clock in many productions in many companies. So whenever you go and take the snapshot of the critical volumes, in that case, always go and take the snapshot in the off production hour. That is before 9 o'clock in the morning or after 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay. To because like whenever you go and create a snapshot, so it takes some time and it like performs some read and write operation. So it can like easy make it can like make your volume highly optimized, not optimized basically. It will be your volume will be getting used a lot at that moment. So now we have this snapshot ID. We have this status pending. Okay, the volume from which this snapshot has been created, the date and everything, and the owner, right? The owner, the AWS account where you are trying to create this snapshot. Fine, and then it is showing me that the KMS ID is not available as of now because this was not encrypted. The volume was not encrypted, so the snapshot will not be encrypted. Okay. So till the time it is getting available to us, let's do some other activities too. Okay, so Pavel having question during the time we go and create this snapshot, is all other services will be down for some time? No, the services will not be down for any for any particular time, but it is recommended that you go and create these things in the off production hours so that there will be no extra load for this creating of this snapshot, right? So okay. So now you can see that snapshot is actually available to us, and this snapshot is available in North Virginia. Let's say that now you wanted to create a volume, in different ability zone, right? So you wanted to create a volume in different ability zone. So you can go and click on this action and then click on this create volume. So now this time it will be asking you that you wanted to create this volume in which ability zone. So you can choose the another ability zone if you wanted to copy or create the copy of this volume from this from which this snapshot has been created. Okay, so the previously the volume was available in US East 1D. Now we can go and try to create this volume in another ability zone. Okay, and we can also encrypt this volume. What do we mean by encryption? Encryption, that means like the data which is available at rest on this volume, that will be in the encrypted form. The data which is available on rest on this volume, so that will be in encrypted form. If anybody try to access the data uh, from this volume, yeah, so they will not be able to access the data till the time they have the KMS key with them, right? So you can go and click on this encrypt this volume. So data at rest on this volume will be encrypted. So this KMS key is available as of now by default, and you will find this thing in your account. Go and choose this one, and now this volume which is going to be available to us, that will be in the encrypted form. Okay, so this volume is going to be available in US East 1A, and it is going to be encrypted because we are choosing this option. Let's go and click on this. You can give a tag also. Go and click on this create volume. The volume will be available to us in few moments. Okay. So this is one thing. Now, if somebody asks you that, can you go and copy this snapshot in another region also? The reason for copying this snapshot for in another region is that like you wanted to keep this snapshot, you wanted to keep this snapshot in another region for so that if any disaster happen in this North Virginia, still your data will be available to us in the form of a snapshot. We can take immediate actions, create volumes, and then run your servers. Okay, in another region. And apart from that, you may have a requirement that you wanted to copy the data from this North Virginia to the another region. That can be Ohio, that can be Singapore, that can be Sao Paulo. Okay, that can be like mobile design, so any one of them. So what you need to do, like, you need to select your snapshot and then you need to click on this action and then click on this copy. Okay, so now you have to choose like destination region. So you can go and choose any one of them. Let's say Sydney. Okay, and if you wanted to encrypt this snapshot, you can go and click on this encrypt this snapshot. While you are trying to copy this snapshot from one region to another region, so that if I will recommend that don't go and encrypt this snapshot. It creates some kind of problems. Okay, so keep this thing as it is, and now let's go and choose this Sydney region as a destination region. You can give a description also, and go and click on this copy. Now we can go to the volume sections where we were trying to create this snapshot of this volume of where we're trying to create a volume from this snapshot, okay, in another fidelity zone. So let's go and click on this volume section, and you can see that the volume has been created in US East 1A, right? So in US East 13A. So now we have changed the fidelity zone also. Okay, so earlier we have created this snapshot from this volume which is available in US East 1D, and now we have created another volume from data snapshot in US East 1B. So data in both of the snapshot will be same. Okay, so the data in both of the volume will be same. Now let's go and click on this description. You can see like this volume is encrypted. The volume which is available in US East 1A, this volume is encrypted. So the description is showing me encrypted. And it is also showing me the KMS key ID, right? So now I can go to this region that is Sydney, where I created the another snapshot. So let's go and click on this Sydney to switch the region. And now the snapshot, we have copied this snapshot, so that should be available in this snapshot section. So you can see like this snapshot is getting available to us, right? So it will be available to us in a moment, but we don't want to have this copy of this snapshot uh, in Sydney region. So I can simply go and click on this delete option operation. Okay, so it will be get deleted. Now let me go back to this North Virginia once again. So I will go and click on this North Virginia, and it will allow me to switch from one region to the another region. Okay, okay. Now I think like some of you have any questions. Okay, yes. So Pavel has just highlighted over here that actual volumes is snapshot getting replicated, hopefully, right? Yes. In the backend, it is getting replicated. However, to have a more and more control, it is good. It is good if you go and create your own snapshot and take a backup in another ability zone. Okay. So having a backup, having a snapshot always helps. So you cannot rely on the replicated volume which is available in which is like which is created by the AWS. Okay, which is that thing is happening in the background. You cannot rely on that thing. If you have deleted the volume from this entity zone, okay, or from this uh, region, so probably like this snapshot is only the option which will allow you to restore that volume. Otherwise, if you have deleted the volume from this region, so you cannot restore that volume. You have to go and create this volume from the available snapshot. If you don't have this snapshot, that means everything has lost. So it is always recommended to create the snapshot on a periodic time. Okay, it is always recommended. And yes, it is also going to cost some amount, right? So snapshots also having some amount, so it is going to cost you. Okay, thank you. So we have seen that how we can go and encrypt the volume, and we have also seen that how we can go and create the snapshot. We have also seen that how we can go and create the volume from that snapshot and attach a root volume from one instance and deattach the root volume from one instance and attach to another instance, right? And increase the size of the volume. So this creation of this EBS volume, the creation of the EBS volume also allow you to increase the size. So you have this snapshot as of now, right? You have this demo testing snapshot. Once you go and click on this create volume, so it will be giving you the option to increase the size of this. So you can make it like 18, you can make it 20. You cannot decrease the size. Okay, if I will go and try to give it 7, so it will say like cannot decrease the size because the size of the volume that was like 8 GB, so you can keep it 8, but you cannot decrease it. Now you can make it 20, you can make it 21, you can make it like 100, and that size can be increased up to 16,684 GB. Okay, and you can choose the solidity zone. Fine. So that is. Now let me go and create this one more volume out of this, and I will say like the size of the volume is 15 GB, right? So this is, and I will say like encrypt this volume by using this same master key, okay, and uh, and give a tag like name attach with instance. And you can also read this statement, right? So as already mentioned, volumes that are created from the encrypted snapshots are already encrypted. If you have encrypted snapshot and then you go and create the volume out of that encrypted snapshot, so you will be always having the encrypted volume, right? So that is one thing I just wanted to highlight. Go and click on this create volume. We have given like 15 GB of size, and that should be available in volume section. And let's go and delete this thing. Okay, so this has been added now, and so this is a root volume copy, right? This is a root volume copy, and I have increased the size as of now. So what I will do, like I will go and and if you wanted to attach the root volume, so in that case, you need to go to the instances, and you need to find out that the previous volume which is attached to this instance is using like which root device. Okay, so if it is using this slash dev slash sda1, so you need to make sure the instance which you are attaching, the root volume which you are attaching to this instance having the same root device or the block device, that is slash dev slash sda1. Okay, so I will go back, I will go and click on this volume. Now we are here, so let's go and remove this, deattach this volume. And now once you will be attaching it, once you will be attaching that another volume to this instance, so in that case you need to make sure that you go and attach, at slash dev, the mount point will be slash dev slash sta1. So attach volume. Now you have to go and choose your instance. Okay, choose your instance, and now here you have to provide the device will be sda1. Go and click on this attach. Fine. Go and click on this attach. Now this volume has been attached. The size is 15 GB. Now I can go and start this instance. It will work without any kind of problem. So let it get started. Meanwhile, what I want you guys to do, go and log into the account and create a volume, right? Create a volume of 2 GB. So you need to choose the ability zone US East 1C. So you need to create the volume in US East 1C. So what is the requirement? Let me open the notepad, and the requirement is like create volume in US East 1C, and size should be 2 GB. Okay. Then once you go and create it, then you have to delete this thing also. So can you guys go and log into your account and do this thing immediately? And Pavel, you having a question that you're getting some kind of problem while you're trying to activate your account. So probably what you need to do, you need to go and click on this support, okay, and go and click. Once you will log into your account, so you will be able to log in your account. Okay, you will not be able to access these things which is here, but you will be able to go and click on the support center. Once you go and click on the support center, okay, so there you need to raise a ticket to the AWS. So go and click on this create case and click on this account and billing support. Select the type that is like account and then click on this category activation. Okay, activation. Now this is the option which you have to go and choose. Now you can go and write some description that you have done all this stuff, what you have done, and then what problem you are getting in the description. And then you can also go and give a snapshot, a screenshot, and then you can say like phone. Okay, choosing a phone is a like good option because you will be getting call from them immediately. You can choose the country and you can give the phone number, right? So you will be getting call from them immediately. Okay, and then you can like ask them to like solve this issue. Yeah. So guys, like, are you creating this? Okay. So Santanu has done. Great, Santanu. Great. So you have created the volume. Now you can go and delete that volume also. That is not required to have in your account. Okay. So you can go and delete that thing too. So Pavel, what do you wanted to ask me once again? Okay. Gautam has also done. That's really, really great, Gautam. Awesome. So now you have the volume available. Okay, you got it, Pavel, right? Yeah. Thank you. So yes, deleted. That's awesome. That's awesome. No need to keep this thing in your account, right? And let's go back to the service called EC2. Now I think we have already like completed this EBS in a great detail with the snapshot and everything. So now I think you guys deserve the quick break. And before going to the break, we can have a revision. That's the snapshot. Okay. So what is the summary? The snapshot of the encrypted volume are encrypted automatically. This is what we have already discussed. You cannot decrease the size of the EBS volume. We know that we were getting the error when we were like trying to do so. And volume restore from the encrypted snapshot are encrypted automatically. Size of the EBS volume can be increased on fly. So whenever you have the instance available and you want to increase the size on fly, so yes, you can do that thing. And the second last point which we have, the snapshot of the root EBS root volume can be taken while it is serves running instances. Okay. However, we should do this thing like we should always like try to stop the instance and take this snapshot in case we have a lot of data, and you can also do the same thing when in the off production hour. Okay. And you can also share the snapshot, right? But uh, only if they are unencrypted. So if you wanted to share your snapshot with another account of the AWS, you can also do so, but you need to make sure that the snapshot which you have created is unencrypted. So encrypted snapshot, you will be getting some kind of problem. Okay. So from where you can go and share the snapshot, let's go back and click on this snapshot once again, and then go and click on this permission section. Okay, and here you have this edit an account number. Once you go and provide the account number, so in that case, your snapshot will be available in that account. Okay. So if you guys are interested to see this snapshot in your account, you can ping me your account number. Okay, you can ping me your account number, and then I will be giving permission to this snapshot. So guys, do you wanted to have access to this snapshot as of now? So in that case, you can give me your account number. If I will go and give the uh, invalid account number, so it will not allow me. It will be giving me the error. So Santano, you want me to give access to the account number? Okay. So I will be going to Notepad and then pasting your account number. Okay. So also got it from the bottom. And yes. Pavel, in that case, you also need to provide the account number, right? So you need to provide the account number, then only the access can be provided. So I'm pasting this account number over here and then click on this add permission. And now you can see like this thing. This is just a simple snapshot. What I'm trying to show you that, you can go and give the access to the particular account number also. Okay, registration complete. Great. Let's go and I'm going to give access. Okay, unable to copy this thing. And, let's go and copy and paste this thing. Click on this add permission, right? So this thing. Okay, so now I'm clicking on save. Okay, now I'm clicking on save. Now, once you will go to this snapshot section, guys. So over here on the top we have this owned by me, right? So you can go and click on this private snapshots. Okay, so in private snapshot you will be having this account, you will be having this snapshot with you. Okay, and by using this snapshot you can go and set the volume like that. Got it? Are you guys able to see like this snapshot? We shared a snapshot with you. Okay, so Gautam, you can able it is visible to you, right? Okay, that's great. And Satanu, it is also reflecting in your account. That's all. Okay. So guys, now we can take a quick break of 10 minutes, right? So I will back after 10 minutes, and you guys can enjoy uh, that time. Okay, go and take a fresh air from outside. I think the weather in Delhi is good, and probably the weather in your area might be good. So go and take a fresh air and come back after 10 minutes. Thank you, guys. Okay, guys. So now I'm back. I hope that you are also back with a fresh air. And okay, so we will take another break in next 1 hour, or maybe after half an hour. If you guys for the coffee and tea break, so at that time you can have your coffee and tea. And I will recommend you to have green tea in front of you so that you can wake up yourself and try to learn these things which we are talking about. And I already see the great enthusiasm in each one of you. And so to continue with this enthusiasm, I think a green cup of coffee or green cup of tea will add some advantages. Okay, so let's talk about one of the more important thing that is AMI. Okay, Amazon Machine Image. Till now, we were using the marketplace AMI to install the operating system on this UPS and to launch the instance, right? So now let's talk about the AMI, that how you can go and customize your AMI and then attach or create a new volume from that AMI. So that is what we are going to learn today. So is I'm audible to all of you? Okay, that's great. Thank you guys. Thank you for your acknowledgement. Okay, so let's talk about this Amazon Machine Image. And AMI provides the information required to launch an instance, right? So in simple words, if anybody asks you that what is AMI, so you can say like the AMI provides information to launch required to launch an instance. Okay, and you can also say that it allows you to install the operating system on any instance. So AMI include the following information: that it template for the root volume for the instance, for example, the operating system and the application server and the applications. Okay, launch permission that control which AWS account can use the AMI to launch instances. So you can also give the launch permission. Okay, and now a block device mapping that is specify the volumes to attach to the instance when it is launched. So find an AMI based on you can find an AMI based on region. You can find an AMI based on operating system. You can find an AMI based on architect 32 bit, that is i386, and 64 bit, that is like 886 underscore 64. This is the architect which we have for 60 and 34 bit. And you can find the AMI based on the root devices, that is AWS Elastic Block Storage, and the instance store, that is like ephemeral storage. You cannot stop. Okay, I will talk about this ephemeral instance store later on. So let's go to the management console. Okay, let's try to find out an AMI for us. So from this EC2 service, once again, once you will scroll down, so you will see the navigation panel. You will see like this AMI, Amazon Machine Image, right? So as I said, you can find the AMI based on the region. So let's go and find the AMI based on like different things. Okay, so let's try to find it by using the architect. So you can say like 64 or 32, or so I can say like 64. Okay, and now you can also filter these things. Let's say the platform. Okay, so you can say like platform, and you can say like CentOS operating system. So you can filter from this filter bar, and over here in the left hand side you need to go and click on this public images, right? And in the private images you will be able to see the AMIs which has been shared with you from different accounts. So but owned by me are the AMIs which is which you have created for your use. Okay, so these are the, like, you can actually go and filter these things. So you might be finding this thing very difficult in the beginning. So what you can do, like, you can go and click on this instances, and then go and click on this launch instance, right? And over here you have these things. my AMI, marketplace AMI, community AMI. Okay. So from here also you can go and find. Let's say that I wanted to find the AMI. Okay. Which is CentOS AMI. So let's say, and it is available in AWS Marketplace CentOS 7. It is a Linux operating system. So go and it is available in free tier. So go and click on this, select. So the CentOS AMI, first of all, whenever you wanted to launch an instance out of the CentOS AMI, so in that case, you have to go and buy the subscription. The subscription for this CentOS AMI is free. You will not be getting charged for this software, right? You will not be getting charged for the software. So you can say like for software users, it is like $0. But for EC2, you will be getting charged as for this type of the instance. Okay. So they're showing me like per hour cost, and you can go and click on continue. So in that case, that AMI has been chosen. And now once you launch the instance, in that case, it is going to launch the instance by using that AMI. Let's go and click back on previous button and let me choose another AMI. Okay. So some of the AMIs are there. Let me click escape. So some of the AMIs are there, which is not free. Let's say if I will talk about Tableau, Tableau, which is used for the data visualization as a software for Tableau. So Tableau is available for free up to like in the trial period. Okay. And however, if you wanted to use this Tableau AMI for a longer time, so in that case, you have to pay the license cost. Okay. So you can go and click on this, like select this one. So you can see like again, you have to buy the subscription for this Tableau AMI. Okay. And it says that the first for software you need to pay like $0.63 per hour. Yeah, $0.63 per hour. So this includes the software cost also. So go and click on this cancel. So this is how you go and search for the AMIs. So the AMIs are available in Quick Start. The AMIs are available in this My AMI marketplace. Okay, and the community is AMI. Okay, the community like CentOS, Debian, Fedora, OpenSUSE, and Amazon Linux. So these are the like community AMIs which is available to you. So I've created the filter from here. Now if I will go and click on this community AMI, then you will be able to see these Amazon Linux. If I go and choose this CentOS, so I will be able to see the CentOS operating systems, right? The AMIs. Okay. Now somebody have question. So okay. So somebody have question like what is this ARM? 64-bit ARM. If I will go and search what is 64-bit ARM. Okay. So this is like the completely 64-bit architect. ARM is a new 64-bit architect. Is fully compatible with 32-bit architect. Okay, this means that if the processor is running on a 64-bit naval operating system, the processor is able to run unmodified ARM 32-bit binaries. Okay, so that is what we mean by this ARM. So it also support the six. It also support the like. So that means like if we have a like 32-bit architect of system, so in that case, and the operating system is 64-bit, so in that case, it can process the binaries of 32-bit at one frequency. So that we mean by this ARM. Got it? Yeah. Thank you. So now let's talk about this instance store. Okay, instance store ephemeral. So here in the bottom we have this instance store. So let's check this option and click on this instance store. So we have this root device UBS and we have this root device UBS store, instance store. So what do we mean by instance store? So let's go back to this slide, and it says that it cannot stop. Instance store cannot stop. If you will go and stop this storage, so in that case, it will go and terminate the instance. And if underlying hardware drive fails, then the data loss. But in case of EBS, data is highly available. So in case of instance store, if anything got if anything got failed in Amazon data center, the drive is not available. It got failed, so in that case, the data will be lost. But in case of EPS, the data will be available to you. The data will be available. Now, if the instance terminates, data lost, right? But in case of like EPS, if the instance got terminated, so we can before terminating our instance, we can actually go and remove or deattach our EBS, right? So that is the benefit of using this EBS. But in case of instance store, we have several problems. So we don't use this instance store. It was like if you have very specific use, then only you can go and use this instance store. So now, who is the provider? As already shown you that we have AWS, CentOS, Red Hat, Microsoft, etc. And you have additional software for which you might need to pay the license, that is SQL Server, Apache Server, PHP, etc. Okay. So let's go and choose this instance store. And I have this CentOS operating system with me, so I will go and choose this one as of now, just to show you a demo what happens whenever we go and install. So it says that okay, so you will not be able to choose these instance type. Okay, so let's go and click on this or click on this configure instance, and here all the things will be in default. Okay. Add a storage, that says the size of the storage will be 4 GB, and you know and then you can go and click on this add tag, and then you can go and click on the security group, and then attach it. Click on this review, launch, choose your key pair, and then acknowledge it. Okay, this is the additional thing. Just wanted to show you that what happens whenever you go into the instance store. So you have already seen that we are not able to select any of the instance type. So that is what disadvantage. And you cannot add the additional storage. So that is another disadvantage we have. Okay. So, so this is like a starting the instance, and the another instance which we was running. So let me stop that instance. The Jenkins one. Go and stop this instance. So this instance is starting up. Let it be get started. Till the time we can actually go and discuss some other stuff. So this is what we have in the Amazon machine image. Now what happens whenever you go and create, so this is the like Amazon machine image life cycle. So first of all, you go and create the Amazon machine image template for the root volume. Okay. Then you go and register this thing. Then you have this AMI. If you wanted to remove this AMI, then you can go and remove this thing. That is what we have deregister. Okay, that is what we have deregister. If you wanted to launch the new instance, so then you can go and launch the new instance by using this AMI1. Okay, by using this AMI1, you can go and launch the instance, right? If you wanted to, if you wanted to copy this AMI, if you wanted to make a copy of this AMI, so in that case, you can go and right click on this AMI, okay, and then you can go and select copy. So it will go and create a copy of the AMI. So what I will do, I have one instance, Jenkins instance running. So I will go and create the AMI for you guys. Okay. So let's go back to the management console and create an AMI for us. Fine. So let's choose this AMI, the instance, running instance, and go and click on this action. Go and click on this image, click on this create image. Okay. You can give a name, let's say Jenkins copy. Okay, and you can give a description, same description, something like this. uh, then you can see like this root volume is available. The size of this root volume is 15 GB, and the snapshot which it is going to create is this one. Okay, and this snapshot will be get saved in this S3 bucket. You will not be having access to those S3 bucket where you have saved this snapshot, but it is going to show you in your snapshots option. Okay, and it says that like delete on terminates. If you wanted to delete this, you know, uh, volume whenever you go and create this instance, so you can check this option too. However, most of the time, because this is the root volume, so we need to go and keep it like delete on terminate and check. Go and click on this create image, and before creating the image, if you wanted to have any additional volume in this AMI, so in that case you can go and add additional volumes also like this. Okay. Now go and click on this create image, and this image will be available to you from the navigation panel. That is this AMI. Okay. Now I can go and click on this filter bar. I can say like owned by me. Okay, owned by me, and I can remove all these filters from here. Now you can see like this AMI is available, right? So it will be available just in a moment. It will take some time depending upon the size of the root volume. It takes time, and let me show you the description till that time. So you can see like the AMI ID has been provided to us. Okay, the owner is again my account, and status is pending, and the source is this one. So this is the source. Okay, and it says that okay, like other meanings and other things, and fine. So this is what we have, and now if I wanted to give permissions to this, if I wanted to share this AMI with you, so in that case I can go and simply share this AMI with you guys. Okay. So what I need to do, I will be fetching the account number uh, once again from this snapshot. I guess I already have the account number over there. So you can see like in this snapshot, it is creating one snapshot, right? So this is snapshot is actually getting saved in S3, but we can actually go and access that snapshot from here, from this snapshot. Right? Let me go and click on the previous snapshot demo testing. Let me copy this account number, okay, and paste this account number in a notepad, and copy the another account number here. Let's go back to the AMI section once again, okay, and click on this edit option, and here you can go and provide the permission. Add permission. You can say that this has been added, and now you can go and provide another account number. So go and click on this and add permission. So it says that if I wanted to give access that, so you guys can actually go and create the volume from this AMI. So do I wanted to provide that permission? Yes, I wanted to provide this permission. So go and click on this save. Okay, so it is giving me the error because as of now, still it is like creating this snapshot. So that's why it is giving me the error. However, if I will try after 1 and 2 minutes, once this AMI is available to us, so it will allow me to create. Okay, so let's go back to the slide and discuss some more other stuff. So AMI lifecycle, we have already seen that how we can go and create the AMI. Then we will see some other stuff also, that how we can go and share this thing, how we can go and remove this AMI from the account. Okay, so that is what we have in this AMI. So what is the summary? The summary is all AMIs are categorized as either backed by Amazon EBS or backed by instance store. Okay, for EBS volumes, the root devices for an instance launch from the AMI is an Amazon EBS volume created from an Amazon EBS snapshot. Okay, so for EBS volume, if you go and create the AMI, so in that case, uh, it is going to create a snapshot which will allow you to create the EBS volume itself. Okay, so but for the instance store volume, the root device for an instance launched uh, from the from the AMI is an instance store volume. Okay, so if you will try to go and create the AMI from the instance which is using instance store, so in that case, uh, so it will do like create a snapshot, and it will allow you to create the AMI. Once you go and create the new instance from that AMI, so the volume will be instance store. So that is what it is, trying to express over here. You can reboot both EBS backed and instance store instances. You will not lose your data. So that is also one of the advantages. So by default, both root volume will be deleted on termination. However, with EBS volume, we can go and change this thing. So this is all we have in case of AMI. Let's go back to this, console management console and try to click on this save button once again. So still it is giving the error. I think it is taking some more time to make it available itself. Okay. Let's go and click on this. It is taking time because the creation of this snapshot is taking time, right? Meanwhile, we can go to this instances, okay? Leave this thing apart and go to the instances, and we have left something this, okay? So this AMI, this instance we have created by using instance store volume, okay? So if we will go and stop this instance, so you can see like we don't have any stop options available, right? You can only reboot this instance which having the volume that is instance store, okay, and you can terminate this instance which having this instance store volume, okay. You don't have any option to stop it. Once you go and terminate, so the complete data will be removed and will be lost once you go and terminate this thing. But in case of EPS backed volume, you can see that whenever you go and delete the instance, in that case you can like create a snapshot for that instance EBS volume, right? So we have that thing available in case of EBS backed instance. So let's go and click on this terminate option. We don't want to keep this thing running. I have shown you now that if we go and choose this instance store, so what is the mallet? You cannot go and stop the instance. So that is the like biggest disadvantage which we have. It doesn't support with each and every instance type. It only supports with few instance type, right? So that is what we have. Now, so it was this instance storage was available earlier, okay, when Amazon have launched itself. Nowadays we have this EBS backed volume elastic block storage, okay, which is highly available and having the enhanced features in it. But earlier we had this instance store volume only, okay. If you will go and so sometimes I have a question that if I reboot instead of from it, then also the data will be removed from the instance store case. No, in that case data will be there till the time you actually go and reboot it. Once you go and stop it from the internal command by taking the SSH, so in that case it will go and uh, all the data will be lost if you go and try to stop from the Linux command, that is init 0 or like shutdown space hyphen h now. But if you go and reboot, so in that case the data will be there. Okay. Did you got the answer for your questions, Pavel and Santanu? Okay, thank you. So we were creating the AMI, okay, and now all things looks good. So go and click on this AMI section, and still it is like in pending stage. So I think it will take some time. I can understand that the volume which is attached to this Jenkins server is encrypted, so that may be the reason that it is taking time to make it available. Okay. So once this AMI will be available to us, so in that case we will be having option to launch the instance. Okay, this option will be highlighted, so we can go and launch the instance from this AMI, and we can also share this image with the other accounts. In that case, you can go and provide this like another account number and then click on this add permission. Okay. And apart from that, once you are ready to remove this AMI, so you can go and click on this deregister AMI. Okay. And if you wanted to make a copy of this AMI, let's say that you wanted to copy of this AMI, so in that case, you can go and click on this copy AMI option. So it is just like if you go and create this new AMI. So copying the AMI will be giving you option to create a copy in the same region. Copy the AMI will be giving you the option to create the copy of the AMI in another region. So if you wanted to make a copy in Ohio or maybe like Ireland, London, or any other region, so in that case, you can use this copy AMI. The same configuration, same data will be available in another region also, just like a snapshot. Okay. So Pavel having a question, if data will be remain there means we are leaving data with Amazon. Those data may some critical data that organization does not want to expose. So Amazon says that for this kind of situation, they are completely taking the ownership. If you have removed something from your EBS volume, so in that case, that data will not be accessible by any of the customers or any other thing. Till now, I think none of these people have from all of the globe around the globe. None of the people have experienced this kind of situation where their data got exposed to some other customer. Even AWS has been awarded by Australia government for the best security practices. Okay, so there is no such risk. Okay. If you have deleted your data from the Amazon, so that means like the data has been removed successfully. It is going to be removed from there. Got it? Yeah. Thank you. So let's go and discuss some other topics. Okay. I think the creation of AMI will take some time, so we can leave this thing as of now. However, you can go and click on the action by choosing your AMI and perform some other actions, re-register or some other options like that. So let's talk about this ELB, elastic block storage. Okay. This is one of the most important topic which we have. And once you will be going for the interviews in any project, so we will be asking the questions from this ABS, from this elastic block storage. So till now, if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. So Pavel have already got the answer for his question, and if Santana, you have any question, and Gautam, if you have any questions, you can ask me the question right away. So Pavel have another question, that is Amazon do have any sizing tool available? I think that you are talking about the sizing tool that will allow you to increase the size of the volume, right? Yes. So we have already seen from this snapshot that if we wanted to increase the size of the volume, so in that case, what we need to do, we need to go and create the snapshot from that volume, and once you will be creating the volume from the from that snapshot, so it will be asking you the size of the volume. So there you can go and give the new size of the volume. Let's say that from 15 to you wanted to increase the size to 60 GB. So in that case, you can write 60, and then the size of the that volume will be increased. Okay. Okay, based on the customer data, you wanted to give a feedback that what should be the size of the volume. So I think the best answer for this is like you need to ask from the customer that what is the amount of data they are going to save on this EBS volume. Okay, if they are not aware that what is the amount of data they are going to save in this EBS volume, so probably you can check the existing file systems on their on-premises data centers. Okay, so you can check the amount system, you can check the like the storage amount that they are using, and according to that you can take an appropriate action to attach to create a volume in the Amazon cloud. Okay, AWS cloud. Got it? Did you got the answer for your question, Pavel? Okay, so you having a requirement that if customer says that 1000 GB data needs to be stored and incrementally on the YOY basis, they expected to increase the size by 500 GB. So what will be the proactive plan for this? Okay, so let's say that you have created the volume of 1000 GB. You have created the volume of 1000 GB, and by using this EBS volume, right? Now they are expecting you to increase the size of this volume, 1000 GB of volume by 500. So the process will be same again. Okay, what you can do, right? Because you in every organization we have these monitoring tools available, right? If we are about to consume 90% of the available space, in that case we will be having an alert which will be sent to us that okay, 90% of this 1000 GB has been occupied. Now we have to go and think about increasing the size of this volume. So what we will do, we will go in the off production hour, we will go and try to create the snapshots of that volume which having the size of 1000 GB, and of course it will take some time to create this snapshot of 1000 GB volume. Once we have a snapshot available with us, so in that case we can go and create the new volume from that snapshot, and the size of that new volume will be 1500 GB. Okay, so that is what you can do, and once you have the volume available, and then you can go and attach that volume with the instance. Okay, you need to make sure that you have chosen the same device, the root device and the block device of the volume which was previously available, the old instance volume. Okay, the same thing which we have done. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, Santanu and Gautam, do you have any questions to ask, or we can go ahead? Okay. Okay, guys, thank you. So now we can go and talk about this elastic load balancer. Okay, so this is one of the most important topic which we have. Whatever things we have learned so far, that is going to be available in this load balancer. Elastic load balancer. So what is this elastic load balancer? Elastic load balancer distribute incoming application traffic, across multiple targets, such as Amazon EC2 instances, such as ECS containers, or the IP addresses. Okay, so, and also you can distribute your traffic to the Lambda functions by using this elastic load balancer. Okay. So if your instance is available in, you have three instances, and those three instances are available in different ability zone. So you can go and configure this elastic load balancer, and then you can distribute your traffic to all those three instances available in different ability zone. Okay. So you can also distribute your traffic to the Lambda function that we will be discussing later on. So we have different type of elastic load balancers, that is application load balancer, network load balancer, and a classic load balancer. Earlier we had this classic load balancer, which is the older one, which is the previous version. Nowadays we use this application load balancer and the network load balancer a lot. Okay, so let's find out the differences between these, and then we will try to configure this application load balancer for us. So we have two things. We have internet facing and internal load balancer. So what do we mean by this internet facing? That means the load balancer which we have will be accessible from the internet. That is what we have internet facing. And the internal load balancer, that means the load balancer will be accessible within you from your VPC, within your VPC. Okay. So internal load balancer, that means the load balancer will be accessible within your VPC. VPC, that means the isolated network available in your account. The isolated network available in your account is the VPC. We will talk about the VPC in coming classes. Okay. So internet facing, that means your load balancer available from the internet. Internal load balancer, that means your load balancer will be available within your VPC. Internally it will be available. Okay. So you can see that thing from the diagram, from this diagram on the left hand side, this is internet facing load balancer. So your load balancer is actually accessible from the outside of your AWS account. Okay, outside of your AWS account, your load balancer is accessible. That means the user from the internet will be able to send the request to your load balancer. Now, internal load balancer, that means the load balancer will be available in this AWS account, and in this AWS account we have this VPC. So within that VPC, your load balancer will be available. Okay. So if you have multiple VPCs in the same account, so that load balancer will be available in that VPC where you are creating in case of internet load balancer. Okay. Now, application load balancer. In case of application load balancer, we have a load balancer, then we have a listener. Okay, listener is a process which allow you to, which listen your request. Okay. So Gautam having a question: can we do load sharing across a region or between ability zones? As of now, we can do the load sharing between ability zones. We cannot go and do the load sharing between a region. Okay. So, did you got the answer for your question, Gautam? Okay. So we have this load balancer available in a specific region, that is like North Virginia, and then we have this listener. I will show you from the console that what is listener. It's a process which is listening the request from the user. Okay. So now this listener having a rule with it. Listener having a rule with it, and and then we have target groups. Okay, the target groups having a target like EC2 instances where we go and send a target, send the uh, request coming from the user to these instances. Okay, so we can have multiple target groups and we can have multiple listeners. Okay, and according to those listeners or rules, we can go and send the traffic to these different target groups. Okay, so Pavel having a question: how do manage load across a region? We don't have such option available as of now with the application load balancer. Okay, so in case if you wanted to do so, we have to integrate our solution with the Router P3, where you can actually go and distribute distribute your traffic across the multiple regions. We will go and discuss about that later on. Now, Santosh having a question that one load balancer can we work with different regions, listener? No, we cannot work. It is going to work with only in that region, in only in that region. Okay, it is not going to work in another region. If we wanted to work this load balancer with another region, so we don't have such option. However, if the user is sending the request to your domain, so we can define that the traffic should be forwarded to the North Virginia, the traffic should be forwarded to the Ohio, depending upon different kind of uh, like statistics, different kind of values. Okay, so that option we have. We will be learning about that thing once we start learning this Route 53. Okay, that we will cover in Route 53. Got it? Yeah. Thank you. So what I was explaining that a load balancer can have multiple listeners, and as per rule defined in these listeners, we can actually go and send the traffic coming from the users to different target groups. So we have one target group, we have second target group, we have third target group. Okay, these target group also have health check, and so according to the rules, we actually go and send the traffic to these target groups. Okay, and the target group is a collection of instances. So you can see like target which is written here. So these are nothing, these are instances. Okay, so application load balancer operates at the request level. That is, if somebody asks you that application load balancer how the things are working, so this statement probably very important for the developers. So if they are developing an application, so they need to make sure that their application also works at the layer 7. Okay, so you can go and route the traffic to the instances, containers, IP addresses, and lambda functions based on the content of request. Now you can go and use two protocols, that is HTTP and HTTPS. And it is like it also supports this path-based routing and lambda function as target. And you can also go and attach this application load balancer with this auto scaling. So that is also what we are going to do. And you can go and integrate this load balancer, application load balancer with the CloudFront, with the web application firewall, with the Route 53, and so on. Okay. So, and it also support for HTTP/2 and HTTPS listener. So let's go to the next slide. So what is listener? Okay. So before going ahead with more and more theoretical session, I would like to show you from the console that how the things are working. What we have learned so far, we are going to practice all those stuff till now. And once we will go and learn this auto scaling, the things will be more and more clear to us. Okay. So let's go to the console, and here again in the EC2 service, we are under this EC2 service. Okay. And from the navigation panel, you will see that we have this elastic load balancer. So under the load balancing, we have this load balancer. Go and click on this. Okay. Go and click on this. Okay, so as of now, I don't have any load balancer till now. So what I will do, like I will go and create the load balancer. And before actually I go and create the load balancer, I will go and create at least two instances for me. So I will go and start, launch two instances. Okay, so let's go and choose this Amazon Linux 2 AMI, and I will say that t2.micro. Okay, and go and click on this configure instance, and here I can choose number of the instances one. I will leave all the things as default, everything as default. This tendency will be shared, and this shutdown behavior will be stopped. And I'll go and click on this advanced details. Okay, so here I will type some user data, bin bash. Okay, this is shebang, and then I will say like yum install http the hyphen y. So it will go and install the Apache package on the server. Then I will say system sudo systemctl, or I can say like service, and then httpd, and then start. Okay, I can also say systemctl, and then enable http big. So this is the next command which we have. Now I can say like echo, and we will say we are going to echo something in a file. Okay, any content in a file. So this is our first web server. Okay, so this is what we are going to echo, and we are going to echo this thing in a file. So let's do this thing. So sudo, okay, and then t, and then we will say like slash where slash www slash html slash index.html. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Let's go and copy this thing and then paste this thing in your notepad. Fine. So this is a shell script which we are going to execute, and this is going to execute for the first time when the instance gets launched. Okay. And now go and click on this add storage, and now go and click on this add tag. Now give a tag, and here I will be giving a tag. Let's say like name web server one. Okay, go and click on this configure security group, because this is a web server. So in that case, we will make sure that the security group allow the port number 22, so that we can go and connect remotely to this instance whenever we require, and the users from the internet can be sent to this server on port number 80. So I will go and add the port number 80 also. So I will say like security group web server one. Okay, and I will add another rule, that is HTTP 80, and here I will say like R, and for port number 22 I will add my IP. Add a description. Okay, say allowed HTTP. Okay, go and click on this review and launch. Okay, go and click on this launch section. Now choose the keyword. So choose the keyword and I can launch this thing. So the instance is going to launch and it will be available in a moment. And let's see like where this instance is making itself available. So let's go and click on this, and you can see from the description that this instance is getting launched in 1B, US East 1B. 1B. Now we will go and start launch the another instance, and that will be available in different ability zone. Okay, so I will go and choose this c2.micro once again, and we'll keep all the things default. And here I will say that the instance will be available in US East 1D. Okay, so both will be in different ability zone. Fine. Now again I will go and give this user data, and let's say this, and I will say like this is our second web server. Okay, so the slash where slash www HTML index.html. Go and click on this add storage and go and this give a tag, right? Give a tag that is name and let's say web server web server 2. Okay, so I will say like web server 2. And this is going to tag the instance, this is going to tag volume source. And now I will go and create a new security group for this instance web server 2, and I will go and add the port number 80 also. So here I will like add the same rule, uh, like my IP for port number 22, and for HTTP this all default IP address that is allowed all. Okay, go and click on this launch and choose this keep here, and then I can click on this launch instances. Okay, so this instance will be available in a moment. Now, once this instance is available, so we will go and create our load balancer. Okay, yeah, definitely. Like I will be sending the user data, and you guys can join this channel so that I can easily send all the files and everything required to you. Okay, so I'm like sharing this thing. So sometimes if we have long text and a large amount of content, so in that case we will not be able to share all the things in the chat box. So join this channel. I am sending this user data section in the chat box, and also sending the link to join this channel. Okay, so I have sent the user data, and now I am sending a link of this channel, so you can go and join this. Okay, so send this thing. Okay, got it. Yeah, good. Now the instance is available to us. So just to verify that whether my server is listing on port number 80 or not, so I will go and copy this public IP address of any of the instance and then paste this public IP address in the browser. Okay, and if it is showing me the content, that means like it is listing on port number 80. So you can see like the content is visible to us. That is like this is our first web server. Okay, if I will go and try to copy the public IP address of the web server 2, so copy the public IP address of the web server 2 from the description of the server, so go and paste this thing in the browser. So you should be visible content is like this is our second web server. This is what we have written. In both of the web servers, we have a small difference in the index file. Okay, this is our second web server. Got it? Now let's go back to the instance. Let's go back to the EC2 service, and here now we will be moving to the load balancer topic. Load balancer. Let's go and click on this load balancer. Go and click on this create load balancer. Okay. So now we will try to create a application load balancer. Go and click on this application load balancer. You have to go and provide the name for the application load balancer. Okay. Let's say that the uh, Pinnacle Edu Pinnacle load balancer. You can simply say Pinnacle load balancer. Now you have to choose this scheme. So we know about the internet facing, that means my load balancer will be accessible from the internet. Internal, that means my load balancer will be accessible within my VPC, within my AWS account, within my VPC. Okay, so I will go and choose this internet facing, and then we have this listener, right? So we have a listener, that says the listener is the process that checks for the connection request. Okay, is a process that checks for the connection request using the protocol and port that you have configured. So it is going to check the connection request using this protocol and using this port number. Okay, you can add multiple listeners also. You can go and click on this add, and you can define like HTTP, and you can define this thing. Okay, so you can go and add multiple listeners. And as this application load balancer works on two protocols, so it is showing me like only two things: HTTP and HTTPS. Now here we have to go and choose the ability zones. So you at least need to choose two ability zones, and the ability zone which you will be choosing for this load balancer, instances available in those ability zones will be, will be can be forwarded. Instances available in those ability zones will be allowed to receive the traffic from this load balancer. Okay, so as of now we have this instance available in 1B and I guess in 1D. So if I will go and choose, uh, you know, uh, only these two ability zones. Okay, so like 1A and 1B. So in that case, the traffic, the load balancer will not send the traffic to the instance available in 1D. Okay, so if I want that the load balancer should be sending the traffic to 1D also, US East 1D, the instance available in US East 1D. So in that case, I have to go and choose this option too, right? So go and check all these if I wanted to send the traffic to the instances available in this all three zones. And you have to choose at least two LED zones for this load balancer. Okay, and as of now I have only one VPC, so it is showing me like this default VPC. But in your real production environment you can have like multiple VPCs, and for every VPC you have to go and create the load balancer, different load balancers. Okay, if you have a requirement. So fine, now you go and click on this configure security group. Okay, now go and click on this configure security group, and create a new security group. Let's say that the security group name is security group Pinnacle. Okay, Pinnacle load balancer. Fine. Now the port number 80 is open to all. That means anybody from the internet will be able to send the request on port number 80 from the public IP v4 and the IP6. Go and click on this configure routing. And now we have to go and configure the routing, right? As I said in the diagram that we have to go and define the target groups. The target group is a collection of the instances. So first of all, we have to go and create a target group. So let's give a name to this target group. Let's say Pinnacle and target group. Fine. Now we have defined that, what is the target group, instance, IP, or the Lambda function. So I can go and choose this instance. Fine. And now choose a protocol that you wanted to add this target group on protocol 80 and port number 80 and the protocol HTTP. Now there is one great thing, one great feature provided by this application load balancer, that it is going to do the health check of the instances. That means if any of the instances get down, so in that case the load balancer will not be sending the traffic to those instances. Okay, so that is one of the great things which we have. So doing the health check for the instances. So doing the health check, how it does the health check, it goes and try to read a file that can be index.html, that can be index.php, any file which you wanted to read, which you want the load balancer to read in order to check the health check. So I can define, index.html, because this index.html is available in /var/www/html. So I don't need to define any kind of path. Okay. So I don't need to define any kind of path. So whenever I will be sending the request to this server, so that means like it will try to go and read this index.html file. Okay. So let's go and click on this advanced health check. And here we have some informations that If I wanted to do the health check on port number, different port number, let's say like 8080, so I can go and define like 8080 port number for the health check. As of now, I wanted to use the same port number which is being used by the target group. So I will go and use the same port number, that is 80. And you can always read the description before you go and create the resources. Okay, always read this description. It is going to give you a good concept clarification when you will be performing this activity. So healthy threshold, that means like after how many health check this instance will be healthy. So I can say like after 3 health checks this instance should be marked as healthy. Now unhealthy after two health checks, if they are not responding, the instance is not responding on port number 80, and it like load balancer unable to read this file index.html. So in that case, go and mark this as unhealthy. Okay, and I can say like if the instance is not responding within 5 seconds, so in that case also it will consider that thing as unhealthy uh, breach. Okay, now I can say like these health checks should be done between between an interval of 20 seconds. Fine, you can go and give the interval of like from few seconds to 300 seconds. Okay, and in most of the production environment you will see like 100 and maybe like 150 depending upon the requirement. Let me do it, let me like give interval of 20 seconds. So after 20 seconds we'll do the health check again and again. Okay, now every time it goes and and try to read this index.html file, the load balancer try to read this index.html file on the server. If the load balancer succeed in that process, so it will giving a success code of 200. Okay, now go and click on this register target. Now you can see like we have these two instances available in different WT zone, that is 1B and 1D. Okay, so what I will do, like I will choose this and say like on register on port number 80. Okay, and I will select this one and I will say that register on port number 80. Okay, now I can go and click on next review and go and click on this create. Before creating this thing, let me check like how many questions do you have, guys? Okay, so Santanu have asked the question, that is that health check for running application or application load balancer? This health check, what it does, like it checks the file available on the server. Let's say that let's say that you are sending the request to someone and that is not responding. Okay, it may happen that that person is not available to respond, right? That means like he is not attending your call and like that. So in the same way, if it is good, it can be a good option that you go and call that person and verifies that whether that person will be available to respond you back. Okay, so that's a kind of a health check, right? That it is giving you the prior information, and then you will not be routing your traffic over there. You will be sending your traffic to somewhere else. Okay, did you got the answer for your question, Santanu? And doing the health check for this application load balancer is not really necessary, right? However, whenever we go and configure this Route 53, so in that case we have an option to do the health check for this load balancer also, right? So we have that option, but load balancer, because it will be routing or distributing the traffic to the different instances. So it is really important for load balancers to know that whether the user traffic should be forwarded over there or not. If the instance is ready and available to receive traffic, so in that case, load balancer will be sending the traffic to those instances, those targets. But if those instances are not healthy, so in that case, it will avoid the load balancer will be sending traffic to somewhere else, or maybe waiting for the instance to become healthy. Okay, so that is one thing. I hope that you got the answer for your question, Santanu. Okay. Now let's talk about this Pavel question, that every 20 second of interval doesn't create load on load balancer. Yeah, that's a good question, Pavel. That yes, it is going to create some kind of load on on the load balancer. That your instance will be receiving traffic again and again, again and again from the load balancer. So the instance will be busy to uh, to like respond back to this health check. So that's why in most of the production environment we don't give this interval of 20 seconds. However, we are doing the demo, so we cannot wait for like next 5 minutes to make it like available, right? That is the thing. Did you got the answer for your question, Pavel? Yeah. Okay, thanks. And now Gautam having a question. Okay, you want me to add in this Discord channel? Gautam, I have given the link in the description, and I can send that link once again, and you can go and join by using that link. Okay, so I'm sending that link once again, and during if you find any kind of problem when you are like trying to join this channel, let me know. Okay. So I will be giving you break time for next 5 minutes, just in few seconds. You know, let me show you that how this load balancer works. Then we will take a break of 5 minutes. So let's go and click on this create option. Okay. So the load balancer will be available in few moments. And before, so you can see that load balancer is available now. And if I will go and click on target, so the instances should be there. You can see like this target group is there, and we have this targets option over here. And you can see like as of now it is showing me initial, right? So the load balancer will be receiving the traffic from the user, but it will not be forwarding the traffic to these instances. Okay. And even though it forwards, so instances will not be responding back. So the instances should be healthy in order to receive the traffic from the load balancer, right? So it will be healthy in a moment. So let's go back to the load balancer and try to read some of the things from the description. So we have this application load balancer which says that name is Pinnacle load balancer and this DNS name, and by using this DNS name only we will be sending the request, we will be receiving the request from the users. Okay, by using this DNS name we will be receiving the traffic from the users. The state is provisioning. As of now this has not been created successfully, it is still provisioning. Once it will be available, so it will show me the state available. Okay, the type is application and the scheme is internet facing. Okay, and yeah, so it is showing me like this application load balancer is available in VPC, in this VPC, and the ability zone where it is available is 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. Okay, the hosted zone is this. Okay, the hosted zone is this one, and the security group is this. Okay, SD hyphen Pinnacle LB. Okay, this is the name of this security group. The attributes which we have is this HTTP/2, and the deletion protection is disabled as of now, and the access log is also disabled. So these are the things which we have available. Now listener. So listener can be one of the most important things when you are configuring this load balancer. Okay, so you can see like we have one listener which says like if receive the traffic from the user on port number 80, check for the connections on port number 80 and forward the request to this Pinnacle target group. Okay, Pinnacle target group. So that is what we have in this target group. We have uh, once I go and click on this target group, so we have this target group which says that I have these targets with me, and you can see like both of the targets are healthy as of now, right? So both of the targets are healthy. Now these instances will be available to handle the traffic from the load balancer. Okay, so load balancer I have checked the index.html file and find out that these instances are responding back. Okay, and so that's why like this is healthy after 3 threshold value, which is what we have configured over here, right, in health checks. So let's copy the DNS name of the load balancer. So I will go back to the load balancer. I will go back to the load balancer, you know, and copy the DNS name of the load balancer. Okay, let's go and paste this thing in the browser. Okay, and hit enter. So you will see the content, right? So this is our second web server. Okay, now once I refresh this thing, so you can see like this is our first web server. So you can see like the both of the load balancer is like distributing the traffic to the different instances, and those instances are responding back to this request of the load balancer, right? So now if I will go and refresh once again, so it is like showing me our second web server, that is the second instance is responding, So I will go and like so it will show me like the other web server is responding. Okay. So let me show you one more thing, which is also important, right? In the real production environment, what we do, if I will go back to our instances and copy the public IP of the instances where these web applications are running, okay, and try to copy this public IP address in the browser, okay. So what will happen? Like I will be getting the response on these public IP addresses too, right? That is not recommended process. Either you will be receiving the traffic from this load balancer or you will be receiving the traffic from this public IP address. You will not be receiving the traffic from both of the things at the same time. Okay. So how are you gonna go and avoid these things? So as of now, this is all about the security group process. As of now, the security group which has been attached to this instance, where there we have a rule. That rule says that it is going to allow the 80 port number to all of the users. Okay, the default IP address, that is 0.0.0.0/0. Okay, so it will allow all. So what I need to do, I will go back to the instance and will click on this security group. Okay, I will go and click on this security group and will make the inbound rule where I will allow only the load balancer security group. Okay, so this is one thing which is very important for you guys to know. And copy the let me copy this security group ID of the load balancer. So the name of the security group was Pinnacle, the Pinnacle load balancer. So this is the load balancer which has been attached to this load balancer. This is the security group which has been attached to this load balancer. So I will go and copy this security group. I will go and copy this security group and you know click on this, and then I will search for the web server 1 and web server 2. Okay, so I will go and search for web server 1 first of all. So this is a security group which has been attached to my instance available, that is like first web server, right? So I will go and click on this edit option, and then here I am saying that go and allow all, right? So now I will say like go and allow only the security group of the load balancer. Okay, so the traffic from the resources which is attached to this security group will be allowed. That means the load balancer traffic will be allowed to send to this security group. Okay, and so server will be responding to my load balancer. I will go and search in the same way. I will go and search for this web server 2. Okay, so web server 2 which has been attached to the load balance which has been attached to the web server 2. Okay, so go and click on this edit. Okay, go and remove this IP version 6 rule, and here in the custom section you will go and paste the security group ID of the load balancer. Okay, go and click on save option. Fine, so this is what we have saved. If I will go back and try to refresh the page of this second web server, so I will not be getting any response on this public IP address, and this is the recommended process which we have. Okay, fine, so I'm not getting any kind of response. However, if I will try the same thing from my application load balancer DNS name and will try to refresh, so I will be able to read the content, right? I will be able to read the content. Okay, so you can see like the things are available. If I will go and refresh this thing, so it shows like second web server. So it is distributing the traffic to both of the instances. And what is the rule which we have in this load balancer? So I will go and search for Pinnacle load balancer security group. So this is a security group. And now let me show you one by one. In this security group, what we have this port number 80 open for IP version for all, IP version v4 and IP version 6. Okay, if I will go and click on this web server 1, so in that case you will see like port number 80 open for the security group of the load balancer, and then you know in web server 2 we have the same thing, open the security group, open the port number 80 for the load balancer only. Okay, and the port number 22 is open to all. Fine, so this is one thing. And let me show you the log of the server. If you will go and log into the server, so you will find out that in every 20 seconds of interval the load balancer is sending the health check request. So I will go and copy this public IP address and will try to open the git bash. Okay, So let's go and click on this. So here I have all the key pairs with me. Let me, open the Git bash. Right click on this and increase the font by Control plus plus sign and SSH hyphen I. Define your key pair name Hub65 Virginia. Okay, .pem, and then the default username for this Amazon Linux is EC2 hyphen user and the public IP address. Okay, and the public IP address. Go and say yes. Go and say yes, and then here try to read the log // log httpd. Okay, so here we have all the logs. So I'm getting the error, so I will go and do sudo su. Now I will go and run this command once again. Cd change directory /log httpd. Okay, now we should be having a file that is access log. If I will go and try to do tail hyphen f access log, so you will see like we are getting this response from the user from the load balance in every 20 seconds of interval. Okay, so we have this thing. Okay, so let's answer some of the questions asked by you guys. So what are the practices to define interval? So best practices for defining the interval for the LCheck can be like depending upon the environment to environment, but it is usually like 200 seconds or 300 seconds in most of the environments, right? It totally depends like what kind of application you have built, whether you will be able to tolerate if the application goes down, so you will be able to tolerate for the next 5 minutes, because after 5 minutes only you will come to know that your application is down in case of any failure, right? So depending that what amount of tolerance your application can uh, do. So now, Gautam having a question: is it possible to customize the request received from your from user to application specific request? For example, add a additional parameter in request or changing the request URL. Let me read your question once again. So is it possible to customize the request received from the user to application specific request? For example, add an additional parameter in request or changing the request URL. Okay. I hope that you are talking about this thing. If I will go back to this load balancer, so as of now, we are sending the request to this DNS name, right? DNS name of this load balancer, right? So if we wanted to change this thing, so in that case, we have to go and define the DNS route 53 that if somebody go and access this www.example.com, so in that case, go and forward the request to this load balancer. So usually we do that thing by using this load balance, by using this route 53. Okay. So we make a like a record type where we define that if somebody is trying to access your domain www.example.com, in that case go and forward the request the to this load balancer. Did you got the answer for your questions, Pavel and Gautam? Okay. So let's come back to the slide and try to cover some more things which we have available. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much. And so we have learned about these things in great detail. And I hope that now you will not be facing any kind of problem. However, let's discuss some of the critical things. So we have seen the what is listener. Listener is a process that checks for the connection request using protocol and code that you have configured. Okay. No need to more than and now we have something called network load balancer. Network load balancer works or functions at the fourth layer of the OSI, okay, Open System Interconnect model, which you must have learned in your graduation, that this network load balancer actually works at the fourth layer of the OSI, that is like transport layer, okay, used for the extreme performance, where you have like more performance requirement. There you can go and configure this network load balancer, okay, there you can go and configure this network load balancer, okay. So like where you require like if your load balancer required to handle the request 1 million requests in a second, so in that case we should probably go for this network load balancer. So we should know this thing in a solution architect. We should know this thing on a high level, that what is network load balancer and when we use this. So whenever you have the requirement for 1 million user requests in a single second, in that case you should go for this network load balancer. Okay, so we have this classic load balancer. Okay, and let me tell you one thing, that creating this network load balancer, application load balancer, classic load balancer, the process will be almost same. There is nothing changed in this process. The process will be always same. If you will go and try to create the classic load balancer by using the same process, you will succeed. Okay. So classic load balancer distribute incoming traffic across multiple EC2 instances in multiple availability zones. This increases the fault tolerance of your application. Obviously, it is going to increase the fault tolerance, and it detects the unhealthy threshold. Okay, so we have seen that in every 20 seconds of interval we are getting the request from the load balancer. Okay, so if the instance is unhealthy, load balancer will not send any kind of request to those instances. Okay, so what is the benefit of classic load balancer? Earlier, when the AWS has launched, so in that at that moment we had this EC2 classic. Nowadays, by default, we have this VPC networking available in VPC section. But earlier we had this EC2 classic network. So this EC2 classic networking gets supported by this classical load balancer. So if you will go to the environment where they have created their AWS account 10 years back, and they have created just some kind of load balancer, so in that case probably they might be using this EC2 classic, and it support for both like TCP and SSL listener. Okay, and support for sticky sessions using application generated cookies. So if you're getting these kind of error like classic load balancer, that means like if your application stop responding, the classic load balancer respond with the 504 error. Okay, so this means that the application is having issue. This could be due to service of the web service stopped or failed. So that means like your web service not responding to the web request generated by the web user. Okay, so we have something called X forwarded for header, and what is this? So let me first of all let me show you the log file once again. So we have this log file which is available on the server in a log file called access underscore log, and you can see like we have these IP addresses only. Again and again we have these IP address. That means your instances are requesting the request from the load balancer, and so every time any user sent a request from the internet to the load balancer will forward the traffic to the instances. And so that's why it is showing you the IP address of the load balancer 103.139.103.139. So these are the private IP address of the load balancer. Now, sometime we have a requirement. Sometime we have a requirement that if any of the users send request to your web server, so in that case we usually try to find out that who has sent the request to your web server. Okay, we wanted to find out that who have sent the request to your web server. So in that case what should happen? In that case what should happen, like we should be getting this log with the IP address of the user. Okay, so how you can go and have that thing available? If you wanted to have the IP address of the user in this log file, so for that you need to enable this X forwarded for header. Okay, so there is a complete process that how you can go and do this thing, right? So you can go and enable this X forwarded for header. So in that case, the user will be sending requests by using his IP address. The load balancer will be having his private IP address. So by using this X forwarded for, so we will be having the private IP address of the we will be having the IP address of the user gets stored in our access log. Okay, that we can use to create a analysis report and something. But every time if we have this private IP address of the load balancer, so in that case we will not be able to find out that how many requests is being sent by a particular user. So sometimes we require to have a report in order to analyze that how many requests do we receive from a particular user in a single second or in an hour. If it is a malicious attack, in that case we also go and block that IP address. So what is the lab? So create the application load balancer, done, right? We have also checked the health status of the elastic load balancer. This is also done. And we have also checked the logs on the application web server. This is also done, right? So all things done. Now the summary which we have is the three type of load balancers are available: the application load balancer, the network load balancer, and the classic load balancer. Right? If we go and receive these kind of errors like 504 error means the gateway has timed out. Okay, the gateway has timed out. This means that the application not responding within the idle timeout period. Okay, so that is what we have. Now, if the need of the IP version, if you need the IPv4 address of your end user, so in that case, look for the X forwarded for header. So you need to enable this thing. It can be an interview question, it can be an exam question, or it can be any other topic which you have in your over here that in case of classic load balancer, uh, like instead of this healthy or unhealthy, we have this in service and out of service. So whenever your instance is healthy, so it will show you in service in case of classic load balancer, and whenever so in case of your classic load balancer, if your instance is healthy, so in that case it will show you this in service. If your instance is unhealthy, so in case of classic load balancer, it will show you out of service. Okay. Now health check checks the instance health by talking to it. So we can see like we are continuously receiving the log from this or the request from this load balancer. Okay, and have their own DNS name and never give the IP address given any IP address. Okay, so we always have the DNS name of the Elastic Load Balancer, and once we will be learning this Route 53 service, so the things will be little more clear that if you are sending the request to your domain name such as www.facebook.com or the google.com and any other website or any other web page, so in that case how to forward the request from that domain name to the load balancer. Okay, so this is we are going to learn in the Route 53 classes. Okay, so this is all about the summary that we have learned. Okay, so I think we are all good now. We have still few minutes with us. If you want to do, if you guys are having any questions, so you can ask me. And before entertaining your questions, let me tell you that what we are going to cover, and if you guys can come up with some of the preparation, so that we good. So we will learn about this CloudWatch. We will learn about the AWS CLI, which is very very important, and then we will learn about this photo scaling, that is also important, and this EFS and Lambda. So all these topics which we have is really really important to know, right? Especially if I talk about this CloudWatch and this auto scaling and this lambda. So these three topics are really really important to know. And on the other hand, if you guys will be working in the real production environment, so a lot of time you will be writing the scripts. So to write the scripts, you should be having idea about this AWS CLI. So we will do some activity by using AWS CLI, and we try to run all those stuff. Okay. So now the final question from Gautam. So to Gautam, that Gautam, did you got the access to the channel so that if I go and share any of the files, you can immediately access all those files. So did you got the access to that channel, Gautam? Can you try right now? You have to go and download this software on your machine. Let me share you one more link, and probably you should be able to join this time. So okay, software has been downloaded. Let me share you one more link. The link I have sent in the description. I have sent in the chat box. Oops, this is my bad. Like chat to all entire audience, and you might have received the link right now. Did you receive any link, Gotham? And I'm sending another link also. Go and try to be a part of this channel by using this link. So sending you another link also. You can copy these links in your chat box. Okay. So do anyone have any questions? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Gautam. Do anyone have any questions, or we can wrap up for today? And in the coming class, that is in the next week, we are going to learn some important topics. So if you can come up with the preparation, so go and do and get yourself prepared. Okay. And I have already shared the book with you guys in the same channel. So if you can go and refer this chapter, EC2, chapter number 3, and go and try to practice the stuff which is available in the exercise. So that will be going to add some advantage uh, in your knowledge. Fine. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for joining here. Right, I'm really glad to provide you the sessions on this AWS Architect solution associate, and I hope that you guys will be keep on learning. Enjoy your weekdays and come up with great cup of tea and great cup of coffee and with fresh air with a lot of energy as you have done so far. Right, I will be seeing these kind of energy in the coming classes too. Have a great day and have a good day for today. Yeah, with a great smile. Now, please, we all are here to do this session. Thank you so much. Bye.